Hello there, and you are tuning into Culture Mosaic. Now, this week's lineup of cultural happenings is packed with exciting news and features. Everything from the art of carving statues for worship to a chat with an Australian artist who dedicates a special love for Vietnam. Then in the later part of our show, we'll also get into a fashion collection inspired by the Vietnamese couture brocade. What's special about it is that it was adopted by a Belgian designer into her fusion fashion collection. Here we go. Sơn Đồng Village, the art of carving statues for worship. Australian singer Ella Beth and her love for Vietnam. And Belgian designer take inspiration from couture brocade. As usual, we'll now feed you with some updates on the local culture scene. The Monsoon Music Festival 2019, Vietnam's largest music event, is scheduled to be held at the Thăng Long Royal Citadel in Hanoi in November and will feature a lineup of both Vietnamese and international artists. The announcement was made by Quốc Trung, a music producer, who is also the founder of the Monsoon Music Festival and head of the organizing board. The festival will return to the capital after a 2-year hiatus. The ASEAN Music Festival 2019 opened in Hải Phòng Port City on the evening of May 25th with the aim of promoting cultural and artistic cooperation between Vietnam and ASEAN member countries. The festival saw the participation of more than 60 artists from 6 ASEAN countries, including Cambodia, Laos, Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, and Thailand. As the host, Vietnam sent about 100 artists from 4 art troops across 3 different regions to participate in the event. The week-long festival is co-organized by the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism, the Vietnam Musician Association, and the Hải Phòng Department of Culture and Sports. Singer Mỹ Tâm recently released My Dear Assistant soundtrack album. The album with 13 songs is seen as a gift from the female singer to her fans. Up to this time, the orders for the album hit around 5,000. Previously, Mỹ Tâm announced the temporary suspension of online booking orders and expected audiences to wait for the second release of the album. Recently, singer Sơn Tùng fans have been extremely excited as the singer is going to return with a grand tour. On his fan page, Sơn Tùng posted a status said, "Are you ready for the Sky Tour? This is the Sky Tour. It will be taking place so soon. Stay tuned." Although the Sky Tour's schedule has yet been officially set, Sơn Tùng fans can now still celebrate because after a long time of waiting, the singer's comeback day has finally arrived. In particular, the organization of the Sky Tour also means a new music products will be released in parallel. This can be considered a gift that Sơn Tùng offers to his fans after a long time to wait. On May the 26th, a concert featuring national musical instruments, including Vietnamese instruments, was organized in Paris, France. Now, the concert featured French and Vietnamese musicians. The concert was part of the Vietnamese Culture Season program and Passport to Vietnam in 2018 to 2019, which was initiated by the Mandapa Culture Center in Paris. Representing Vietnam was Mai Thanh Nam and Mai Thanh Sơn. The concert attracted a lot of French and Vietnamese people. The book Saigon, Preserving Culture and Heritage, featuring Saigon and its history and its development in different periods, was released by the Culture and Arts Publishing House. The authors include famous culture researchers, authors and artists, including Dr. Nguyễn Đức Lộc, the book's editor Nguyễn Thị Hậu, and author Phạm Công Luận. The work focuses on traditional culture, festivals, architecture, and old buildings. Cải Lương, a genre of Southern traditional theater, and its 100 years of history also highlighted. The book is published in Vietnamese and English. About 20 kilometers away from Hanoi, Sơn Đông Commune is home to a traditional wood carving village which is known for the art of carving and sculptures. Now, from normal wood blocks, numerous valuable wooden products are meticulously crafted by devoted and talented craftsmen of the village, such as statues of Buddha and other kinds of statues for worship, which are commonly seen in most of the pagodas and temples in northern Vietnam. And join us in this week's edition of Cultural Lifestyle to learn more about how much time and effort these craftsmen spend on their works.
Wood carving is the main job of Sơn Đông villagers. Thousands of people are engaged in this occupation.
Làm nghề này là được khoảng 30 năm rồi. Mình cứ được tiếp xúc từ bé thì nó quen dần đi, thì cái nghề thế lớn lên mình theo nghề mình làm thì cứ bắt chiếc rồi là đi các đền chùa này mình ngắm những cái nét đẹp của các cái pho tượng cổ thì mình bắt chiếc mình về mình làm thế thôi.
Từ lúc mình học nghề đến thời điểm hiện tại bây giờ là 6 năm rồi. Để mà làm đến bây giờ thì trải qua rất nhiều khó khăn rồi. Làm đến lúc nó chán nản công việc, trải qua được cái công đoạn chán nản này thì mình sẽ thành nghề được.
Sơn Đông traditional wood carving village is said to date back over 1,000 years. However, there were periods the career seemed to fall into oblivion. It was not until about 35 years ago that the craft started to be revived and has been growing as we can see today. Thanks to job training classes held by former experienced craftsmen Nguyễn Đức Cường and Nguyễn Trí Dậu in the 1980s, those who had attended such classes have continued passing the craft on to younger generations to keep it alive. Wooden products of Sơn Đông village include statues of Buddha, saints, national heroes, lacquer board, and sacred animals for worship, such as horses and cranes. It takes several months to complete large carved wooden sculptures like this, from choosing the wood to drawing, carving, smoothing, and painting, all requiring great concentration and patience.
Đúc tượng này có rất nhiều công đoạn lắm. Đầu tiên là phải chọn gỗ. Khi mình chọn gỗ xong ấy thì mình sẽ chia tỷ lệ. Khi mình chia tỷ lệ xong mình sẽ phát dáng. Phát dáng là công đoạn mệt nhất, nó là khó. Bỏ những phần thừa ấy, nhiều gỗ tròn này mình sẽ đục bỏ những phần thừa đi rất là mệt. Định hình được cái dáng của nó. Tượng người ta có câu là nhất dáng nhị diện. Cái dáng quan trọng nhất. Khi phát xong thành cái dáng người rồi ấy, thì mình mới vẽ quần áo. Để trong vẽ xong thì mình mới đục chi tiết. Bước cuối cùng là mình làm nhãn.
Sơn Đông wooden statues are sculpted with accurate measurements of the various body parts, so they have a perfect shape. With any order from customers, Sơn Đông craftsmen can make the products without a sample. The main material used to carve wooden statues is the core of jackfruit trees, because this type of wood is durable, soft, and rarely cracks. While sculpturing, each artisan has his own secret techniques to create unique products. In order to make statues of Buddha or saints look like a real person, craftsmen are also required morality, a pure soul, and spirituality. They must deeply understand the origin of every figure they create, as well as the characteristics of Buddha and the saint who are carved for people to worship.
Cái nét dáng tượng của Sơn Đồng này là nó theo được cái lối tượng cổ của miền Bắc. Tượng Phật này thì mỗi bức tượng nó có một vẻ mặt khác nhau chứ. Mọi người ai nhìn cái khuôn mặt đẹp thì ai cũng biết đó. Thế nhưng mà làm được hay không nó là phụ thuộc vào cái năng khiếu, cái tay nghề của người thợ.
Làm cái nghề này không được tiếc công, tức là mình phải dồn tâm huyết vào hết vào cái khuôn mặt nó lên cái thần thái của pho tượng. Rồi nếu mà pho tượng đẹp, người hoàn thiện tất luôn người của mình, người đẹp nhưng mà cái mặt xấu là sẽ mất rất là nhiều điểm. Đây là cái mặt rất quan trọng nên đục nữa phải cần cù và chi tiết, mất nhiều thời gian. Phải đáng làm mất nửa ngày cho mình vẫn cố làm cho hết một ngày cũng được.
After the sculpting process is finished, the statue will be lacquered and gilded to increase the lifespan of the carving and preserve it in its original shape.
Tôi thấy công việc này rất là ý nghĩa vì là nó cả về tâm linh này, cả về nghệ thuật. Mình làm một cái pho tượng đẹp rất là vui và cả về vấn đề tâm linh nữa, khi mình đục pho tượng được thờ cúng ấy thì thấy cảm thấy nó an lành hơn. Vì thấy ông bà thì các chị các anh đi hay đi chùa chiền cúng lễ đấy. Thế ra mình nghĩ bụng mà mình làm ra những pho tượng đấy là rất là vui.
The uniqueness of Sundong wooden statues is a result of centuries-old craftsmanship, together with an endless passion for the job and deep respect for their ancestors' contributions to the development of the famous traditional wood carving village.
Góc phố nơi anh hẹn Cannot away from my Chùa hương bát ngát Bao hồi em ngày cuối thu buồn Cho anh bao lâu cho mỏi mòn mà chẳng thấy ai.
You have just watched the Hương Ngọc Lan, or the Scent of White Sandalwood Flower, performance by a foreign singer, Ella Beth. The performance was made at The Voice Vietnam's blind audition and brought her to the next round of the competition. If you know that Ella Beth has been a judge, singer, and songwriter living in Vietnam for 6 years. Her love for the country has been the motivation for her to stay and develop her music career in the country. Is there anything else special about Ella Beth? Let's hear more from her in our On the Mic segment.
I'll be by your side.
Ella Beth is an Australian singer who has been living in Hanoi for 6 years. She has over 8 years of professional singing, both in the corporate and grassroots music scenes, having performed with a number of bands and projects in Vietnam and abroad.
Is it me? Is it us? You can't see. Is it you? Is it me? Is it us?
'Cause if you're loving nothing, I can let you go.
In 2016, she entered the second round of Vietnam's Got Talent competition with her own song, Hanoi Boys. Recently, she has impressed the audiences with her performance of Hương Ngọc Lan in The Voice Vietnam 2019.
Thank you so much, Ella, for joining our show, and congratulations as you made it to the next round of The Voice Vietnam 2019.
Thank you so much.
You have been living in Vietnam for 6 years and you want to develop your music career here in Vietnam. So why did you choose Vietnam to live and to develop your career?
Being in Vietnam is a wonderful thing, you know. Following a music career in Australia isn't impossible, but it's a tough industry there because there are many girls who look a little bit like me, like a little bit alternative looking, about my age, who also sing jazz, who sing soul, who sing neo soul, who sing R&B. So it's a very competitive industry there because many girls my age are trying to do the same thing. Whereas being in Vietnam, because I'm a jazz singer, because jazz isn't so popular, I have the opportunity to explore that, and I'm kind of one of the people as opposed to one of many of the people. I really feel like Hanoi has become my hometown. When people say, where are you from? My first response is always to say, oh, Hanoi. And then, but where are you really from? Oh, Australia. But I feel like Hanoi is my hometown these days. After 6 years, this is where I live, this is where my heart is.
You are a jazz singer in Vietnam, and the genre is not very popular compared to other kinds of genres of music in Vietnam. So how do you maintain your inspiration for the genre?
Jazz music has always had a special place in my heart. I love really old school jazz. I love the way that the singers' voices could really make you feel emotion, the way that they would sing, the way that they would phrase their lyrics and the words. To me, it's a very emotional style of music. And in Vietnam, it's not so popular. There's like pockets of it. There's Bing Ming's Jazz Club here in Hanoi, and there's the Cool Cats Jazz Club as well. Down in Ho Chi Minh City, there's the Saxonite Jazz Club. So there's small pockets of jazz music. But what has surprised me is that there are some incredible Vietnamese jazz musicians, particularly the young ones. The last couple of years, I've been very lucky to sing more jazz here in Vietnam as I've gotten to know more people in the music industry. And some of the young jazz musicians here are amazing. Jazz is the kind of music that to play it or to sing it well, like I said, it's emotional, you have to feel it. And these young musicians here, they have the soul, they have the feeling. So it's been very much a pleasure to play with musicians here, particularly the jazz musicians in Vietnam.
Ella Beth is a member of many music bands in Hanoi. This is a way for her to meet with other musicians and develop their own projects. She's the member of Hanoi Jazz, which combines different genres of music, including gypsy swing, Latin, and funk styles in their performance. She and her friends also work together on their own music projects to introduce jazz to audiences in Vietnam.
I really enjoy making music with her. She has a really good stage presence, and her energy and the way her voice sounds, it makes me want to be better. For me, jazz in Vietnam, definitely I want a lot of people to know about it more.
I guess like the whole community of musicians here play with everybody together, different kind of projects, trying to do some suitable projects depending of what the people is looking for in terms of live music. They give us a lot of freedom in terms of what kind of repertoire we want to present.
We had a moment, but it's probably a good thing you live so far away. Cause it's so unlike me to get so in my head about someone I just met. It's so unlike me to feel so crazy.
So you made it in the next round of The Voice Vietnam this year. So how has the journey been, and what have you learned from the competition so far?
So far it's been amazing. I have had such a wonderful time getting to know the other contestants and getting to be a part of their lives and having them be a part of mine, and then learning from the coaches and learning more about stagecraft and how to perform and how to be on the stage. I perform a lot, but being able to do the competition side of performing, it's been a really, really growing journey. I feel like I've definitely discovered more about myself, more about my abilities as a performer, and I think I've learned more about Vietnamese culture and about Vietnam because living with young Vietnamese people, I've adapted to how they live and how they work and think, and we eat together and we talk together and we joke together. So yeah, it's been a really wonderful journey so far.
For the Play audition, you chose the song Hương Ngọc Lan, a Vietnamese song. So have you ever performed it before, and why did you choose it for the Play audition for this competition?
So I have sung the song to an audience before. I chose that song because I didn't want to enter the competition as just a foreigner. I wanted to enter the competition as a foreigner, showing that I love Vietnam and that I love the people of Vietnam, and that I love the music of Vietnam, and that I embrace the culture here. So I thought by singing or attempting to sing a Vietnamese song that I would be able to capture a little bit about how I feel for the country, and hopefully the Vietnamese audience would see my heart and see my passion for Vietnam and embrace me a little bit back. So that's why I chose Thung Ngọc Lan.
Could you share a little bit about your life in Hanoi?
So another part of what I do in Vietnam, and another activity that takes up some of my time, is a Facebook group called Hanoi Beautiful. There's groups for where to find things in Hanoi. There's groups for people who like food in Hanoi, but there didn't seem to be anything where women could just talk about issues that relate to being a woman, whether it's emotional, or whether it's physical, or whether it's needing to know where to get hairspray. Like, you know, from the trivial to the serious, there didn't seem to be a group. So I thought if I can fill that niche, then it could really, you know, bring the community together. And in 3 years, the group has gone from basically 12 of my friends, my female friends, to 12,000, which is far and beyond what I could have expected or hoped for. I love that we have a community, that we can have a sisterhood and support each other and be there for each other.
Once again, thank you so much, Ella, for joining the show, and I wish you the best of luck in your competition, in your music career, and also your dream.
Women of Cơ Tu ethnic group are known for their beautiful brocade. In 2012, prominent Belgian fashion designer Adegon van Astenoy started working on a project with the International Labour Organization to explore this local craft, from which a unique and edgy fashion collection were created. And in this week's Connecting Cultures, we'll learn more about the woman behind beautiful designs that take inspiration from Cơ Tu brocade.
Adegon van Astenoy, or Ava, as she's lovingly known in Vietnam, hails from the city of Antwerp, Belgium. Ava prospers as a prominent high-end fashion designer back in her hometown. Her ventures from Antwerp to many locations around the world brought her first to Vietnam in 2005, where she settled down and launched her own ready-to-wear boutique called Havana in Hoi An Town in 2010.
I'm in the beautiful countryside of Quang Nam province, just about 80 kilometers outside of Hoi An. Here it is the village of the Cơ Tu ethnic people, the Darong village. It is here that Ava has been coming to for the past 6 years. The people here do traditional brocade weaving, creating beautiful garments such as this. And this is what is the inspiration for Ava behind the brand Havana.
Here for generations, girls have been learning how to weave since as early as 7 or 8 years of age. Brocade weaving, beyond being a local craft, is highly regarded in the Cơ Tu social and spiritual life. It was here that Ava worked as a consultant in 2012 for the International Labour Organization to help promote Cơ Tu brocade and provide weavers with a sustainable income from their traditional craft.
The moment we entered Darong, it was mystifying, the ambience, the energy between the ladies when they were showing their fabrics, when they were showing their skills. There was immediately a group feeling, and they were very proud of each other's work. So there was this kind of collegiality, there was this kind of friendliness towards to us. We were so welcomed and so inspired. So it was immediately, okay, here, this is the place where we would like to start a cooperation.
A business group or cooperative named after the local traditional dance Cơ Tu Yaya, was formed in 2013. The women artisans were assisted in adopting more professional techniques to assist their work.
Áo của tôi mặc này này, không đo, không biết cái gì hết, lấy cái cây, mình bẻ cái cây mình đo. Còn tới lượt qua vào lấy cái thước mét thì mình đo cái hồ ni á, là cm này, từ đây tới đây là 35 cm.
Alongside helping the cooperative to develop their own brands, Ava also makes orders from the women artisans for her own brand, Avana. Elements such as these can take the woman 2 to 3 months to make, but the women are thrilled their products are reaching customers.
Làm ở đây là tốt, đó là về khuyến khích bà con phát triển về kinh tế, tính chất cùng là vừa xóa đói giảm nghèo để phát triển. Tức là trước kia là bà con nào là thanh niên phụ nữ chỉ có lên nương làm rẫy thôi, cuốc ruộng. Nhưng bữa nay là tức là một số là như chị em ở đó là để dệt vải này, dệt vải cà tu, tức là để cùng bán ra có các nơi.
This is a typical photo shoot for Ava's new collection in Havana. Not only are they free size, Ava's clothes are designed to be gender neutral and multifunctional. Sustainability is a priority.
Of course, you want your brand to be sustainable, but I think you would like to leave green footprints behind you, so and that makes that you make also a bit of sustainable world. So we work mostly with recycled fabrics, or we make fabrics in small quantities where there is no, I will reuse the cuts out and reuse it and make collages with other clothing. So there is almost no waste in these collections.
Ava đang là một phần nhỏ để góp phần vào cái ngành công nghiệp thời trang của Việt Nam trở nên màu sắc hơn, trở nên đa dạng hơn về phong cách, về chất liệu, về giữa kết hợp giữa những phong cách truyền thống và hiện đại kết hợp chung với nhau, làm cho không chỉ riêng người nước ngoài đến Việt Nam mà ngay cả người Việt Nam cũng nhận ra rằng là đồ của Việt Nam bây giờ Make in Việt Nam vẫn rất là đáng tự hào.
Not only has Ava's fashion catches the eyes of consumers, her love and support for the local Cơ Tu community will not be forgotten. With Ava's help, the local Cơ Tu people of the Rong village are not only trying to improve their livelihoods, they are also promoting and keeping their cultures alive.
And that's it for today's show. If you would like to provide feedback or comment on anything here on Culture Mosaic, please feel free to write us at vtvinternational@vtv.vn. You can also log on to vtv4.vtv.vn or our YouTube channel at VTV Go, or just simply download our app at VTV Go for more news. And don't forget to join us next week for another episode of Culture Mosaic. Bye for now.